everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Roethlisberger Steelers. And with that, we'll send you up to the North Shore of Pittsburgh at Heinz Field by the Three Rivers as we headed over to our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come out here in the eye. Time running out here on the play clock. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Wilson. And able to find Graham. Complete.
Hey, it's not our position to root for players, Brandon, but I can't help it. Happy to see Jimmy Graham back at full strength and running around and catching passes.
Looked like the Jimmy Graham of old, didn't he? First 100-yard game as a Seahawk.
And I remember watching him in college. In fact, I did some of his basketball games at the University of Miami, and he plays tight end similar to how he played offense there. Around the rim, he knew how to finish.
Now he's just hoping to pick up where he left off in that Week 3 performance. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end, and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Antonio Brown, unquestionably one of the top receivers in the league. A lot of people think he's the best receiver in the league. And when you put up 12 catches, 140 yards, you're solidifying that reputation. Yet, can't we say that Philadelphia kept him under wraps?
Yeah, that's what's unbelievable. He had that game against Philly in Week 3, and still their offense looked anemic.
He is something else. He is something special, but they couldn't get much else generated around him in the game against Philadelphia.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete here. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.